what is the point in discussing the problems? There have been abundant discussions going on upon each topic, upon corruption, upon state of our security, upon the machinations of China and Pakistan around our borders, terrorism inside. Much discussion has been going on. But ultimately the question comes, who is responsible? Where to go? All problems crystallized into three problems. There is a crisis of identity. Our chief guest had abundantly dwelled upon that subject. What is our identity? Are we a conglomerate of castes, conglomerate of religion? We are one nation. Yes, there are different religions, but that has been the tradition of this country since long. In Atharva Veda also it is said, Janam bibhrati bahudha vivachasam nana dharmanam prithivim yathaukasam sahasra dhara dravinasya meduha dhruveva dhenurana praspuranti. O Mother Earth, people with many languages and many dharmas live upon your surface. But like a cow giving milk to all its children, you give sustenance to everybody. That has been our tradition. We all have inherited that tradition. This is our motherland. So many religions, so many castes, so many ways of living, so many manners of eating. But we inherit the same motherland. We inherit the same tradition. We are children of same forefathers. Even science says that at least since 40,000 years, we have inherited one type of DNA. The other day when I was traveling from Bangalore to Hubli, the TC came to meet me, just to have an introduction. And during that small talk, he said, you see, Bhagwatji, we are Muslims. He was a Muslim, some Sharif, relative of Mr. Jafar Sharif. He said, we are Muslim. But what we are Muslims? We are sons of Bharat. Even in our Muslim tradition, when after death, the body is buried, there has to be a handful of soil to be put in this grave. Otherwise, that ceremony is not complete in our religious tradition. That is why Osama bin Laden, his burial is disputed. That surah of Quran is to be uttered, that from this soil you came and in this soil we are putting you. And that soil has to be there, actual handful of soil. So where will we go? We are Muslims, yes, but we have to remain in Bharat. This is our motherland. Even our death is not complete without this. I met a Rajya Sabha member, a Muslim Rajya Sabha member. Earlier he was in Samajwadi Party, now he is in Congress. So 2-3 years back, he wanted to ask me why RSS is opposing the Sachar committee. RSS is opposing it because religious-based reservation is not constitution, as our learned chief guest said. But he asked me question in the manner, he said, Bhagwatji, you see, we all Muslims, really we are Hindu Muslims. We are descendant of Hindus. Got converted due to some reason. Now we are converted, but we cannot leave our traditions. So singing is not prevalent in Islam. It is opposed actually. But we sing qawwalis instead of bhajans. We cannot do without songs. Earlier we used to sing bhajans. Now bhajan we cannot sing. So we have brought qawwali. Idol worship is prohibited. But we have to worship something in place of our idols. We worship Kabars and Mazars. Nowhere this is allowed in Islam except in Bharat. And then in a smaller voice said, mark me, I am not saying about the Bharat after 47. I am talking about Akhanda Bharat. From Afghanistan to Chinwin River, this Qawwali and Mazar Puja is there. Nowhere else in the world in Islamic tradition. So we are actually Hindu Muslims. If we understand this, all conflicts are over. And to make a common Muslim to understand this, he has to be educated. And for education, Structure Committee recommendations are needed. Why are you opposing it? I told him, all right, I agree with you, and not because you have told me something new and I am agreeing with you. This is the view of Sangha since its inception. We are all belong to the same tradition. We are Hindus. Hindu is not a religion in our, when we use word Hindu, we don't use in religious sense. It is our identity. We are Hindustan, Hindus. Religion doesn't matter there. Caste doesn't matter there. In what way you cook your food, what you eat, what you don't eat, what type of clothes you wear, that doesn't matter at all. You are a son of Bharat Mata. You are inheritor of the glorious and hoary values of this country, a culture, Sanskriti. And you are also descendant of the same forefathers. That is the only thing. So we belong to this nation. So for us, whole society is Hindu society. There are 4 types. People like us, we say, we shout, we are Hindus, we are Hindus. People who don't shout, but they are Hindus and they say, yes, I am also a Hindu. What is there to be shout for? Then there is another type created by politics who privately agree they are Hindus. But publicly they don't say, they disagree. And there are those who don't know that they are, and they are not, no one is letting them know that they are also Hindus. In the sense, descendants of same forefathers, sons of same motherland, and inheritors of same Sanskriti. So we are one nation. This identity is not clear. There is crisis of identity. Are we one nation? Some say after 47 we became nation. Some say before 47, when there was some saints and sages of this country, they tried to create one nation. Shankaracharya created his nation. We are one nation since the eternity. These 3 things are common for all our history. And beyond our history also they were there. But unfortunately, due to petty political selfishness, some doubts are created about this. Actually, this is the unifying factor. No consideration for any difference. We are one. And we will definitely remove the inequality that exists, discrimination that exists. We have to remove it. We have to bring about some reforms in our own traditions for that. But we are one. We should be treated as one. We should treat each other as one. But that identity is not created. Everybody lectures on emotional integration. But only those emotions are promoted which create rifts and create votes also. And due to this, there is no credibility. No one believes. There is no belief in it. If you go to any place, any crowded place, the common instruction you can read on every wall is, be aware of pickpockets. So wherever you go, your view is, in this crowd, those I know are good people. But majority whom I don't know, any one of them can be a pickpocket. So be aware of everybody whom you don't know. That is the general behavior. Whom to believe. And that crisis of credibility is compounded by the behavior of the responsible people. Those who have everything, they indulge in corruption. So, that faith is shaken. And there is crisis of credibility. And therefore, there is crisis of character. If we don't believe in each other, if we don't believe in ourselves, if we don't believe in some higher objective, then our life doesn't get disciplined. Where from discipline comes? Discipline comes through mission. If I want to earn good marks in my examination, I have to study. For that, I have to leave TV, cinema, cricket, everything. I will concentrate on that. I will rise early, I will sleep late, I will suffer, but I will get good marks, I will study. That discipline comes out of the mission to get marks in examination. What is the mission? The very natural mission for every Bharatiya is to create a Parama Vaibhava Sampanna Bharat. Prosperous and strong nation, that is Bharat. Out of that discipline comes. But when there is no faith in each other, no faith within oneself, and no mission, then naturally, gradually, the character decays. And out of these three maladies, every problem, old or new, which we are facing now, that has arisen. This is not what Sangha says, only Sangha says. If you go through Rabindranath, if you go through Subhash Chandra, Dr. Ambedkar, anybody, if you study their writings, if there might be some people who might have heard them. The essence of their conclusion is this. We cannot blame our perils on others, on invaders, on something outside us. This is due to our inner weakness. That is why a nation of crores with such a glorious tradition, such an abundant supply of natural resources, and also such abundant individual qualities, which even now all over the world are being appreciated. How can we remain a backward nation? How can we remain a corrupt nation? It is our own weakness. We have to correct it. And therefore, we have to dedicate ourselves to this mission. I will correct myself. I will bring about these corrections in this society. I will bind this society in this strong sutra of organization. That is Hindu Sangathan. Sangha is working for this. And every Swayam Sevak has undertaken that mission. And therefore he wants to test himself annually. When one undertakes some work, he applies his physical powers, mental powers, and also material powers. Tana, mana, dhana. So annually, by testing his power of contributing materially, he wants to assess his position. As a man with the mission, how much I have covered the distance. Swayam Sevaks come and they offer Guru Dakshina. That is not an easy thing. how much one offers is immaterial because Sangha doesn't need any money. Yes, this money is utilized for Sangha work. But even without this, Sangha work can go on because Karyakartas are there. For Sangha work, we don't collect any funds from outside. Only Swayamsevaks sustain work of RSS proper. The service projects and all those, they are run on the collection from the society. But work of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha proper is sustained only by Swayamsevaks. Annually they collect Guru Dakshina. How? I know of one boy, a small boy of 9th class. I was Nagar Pracharak there. And in Shakha, the Gana, that is the group, the same age group, they decided that we must offer 21 rupees each this year. Now this fellow, his mother and father both worked as a laborer. And they collected something and then once a day they could get their meal. That was his financial position. But he told his parents that our Gana has decided 21 rupees and I want to collect. What should I do? So they gave him some peanuts and daily he sold those peanuts for 3 months. He collected 21 rupees. Guru Dakshina function was to be held 15 days later. He kept that amount in his own home. Daily in those days, in 1970s, they used to earn some 3 rupees, 5 rupees a day. But no one touched those 21 rupees because it is a Dakshina. And he offered that Dakshina. Now he is a young fellow, earning well and working in Sangha. But this is Dakshina. He did not think that this is impossible for me. He said, Sangha needs it. I have to give it. And I also know of a Swayamsevak, an elderly Swayamsevak, who one day went to Karyalaya, some 1 month before Guru Dakshina function, and just he overheard some discussion among the Karyakartas that if there was one car available for our work, it would have been better. We would have favored better in increasing our work. So he just went to the car dealer, booked a car, obtained it, and offered the keys and all papers in the Guru Dakshina. In those days, car means some 1 lakh, 2 lakh, like that. But 21 rupees and 1 lakh rupees, they don't differ in the bhava, the feeling behind giving. That is important. Amount is not important. There are many Swayamsevaks who cannot offer anything. They just offer flowers. They just offer their pranams. This is not for fund collecting. Swayamsevaks, they come and they test themselves. How can I fare? How can I